Welcome back to the End User Report. Again, this is our discussion about the release of the iPad on Verizon. And this part of the podcast, we're going to talk about what this actually means for all the companies involved here. So Jamal, why don't you start this off with what you think that the release of the iPad means for Verizon, AT&T, and Apple?
I think it's a big thing for Apple because, not Apple, for AT&T. This is really the end of that whole exclusivity is gone between AT&T and Apple, and AT&T is, they got to find a way to bring their customers back. There's always been complaints about their network. I've never been an AT&T user, but I have people who know about the AT&T network, and they say it really does. So I just thought it was just regional, like maybe in some places like in New York and California. But
AT&T seems to exist in pockets in the country. I do know that we're, in the area that I live in, Verizon doesn't have any towers that are really in close proximity. So a lot of people out there actually have AT&T and it works well, but we're talking about a small, suburban area. A lot of the metropolitan areas, you hear a lot of complaints about AT&T's overtaxed network. So yeah, I think you're right as far as the exclusivity of the iPhone, especially. I think this is a big thing. I do think they might receive some help with sales because not only is the iPad coming out on October 28th on Verizon, but it's going to be sold at Verizon stores and it's going to be sold in AT&T stores. And I think right now, even though the iPad is coming out on Verizon, I think AT&T holds an edge on it because they've got more versions of the iPad. There's 6. If you're talking
and plus,
Wi-Fi and non-Wi-Fi.
If you think about it, they do have the 3G network, and I know I hopped on that point. That is an advantage for AT&T. However, that exclusivity is not going to last long, and AT&T needs to probably find a way or find a partnership with somebody that can maybe garner the amount of customers that probably wind up losing.
Yeah.
Once Verizon comes around, and this is a boon for Verizon. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think this is just kind of the first step for Verizon. I think this is almost like courtship between Apple and Verizon. They're kind of seeing how this is going to work. I think if this goes well, and I think it will, I think, like you're right, the next step, early 2011, the rumors say the iPhone's going to be out on Verizon. I've heard further down the road, iPhone 5 is going to be out, and that's going to be a 4G version of the iPhone on Verizon. So yeah, I think this is a very big thing for Verizon. What's going to be interesting for me is seeing how this version of the iPad is going to compare to the Galaxy S tablet that is rumored to come out later this year, and that's going to be an Android-based tablet. Because a lot of people kind of refer to Verizon right now as kind of the house that Android built, because a lot of their phones are Android phones, and having an iOS device there, it's going to be interesting to see how those two are going to be received. I still think the iPad holds kind of an edge over the Galaxy S tab. I don't know if you've seen it. It's about half the weight, about a third of the size, and I think one of the big things about the iPad is the size of it. Because one of the things that they really seem to push is
it's a 10-inch screen.
10-inch screen, watching media on it. So it's going to be interesting to see how that Galaxy S tab.
Yeah, according to, I don't know if you remember Steve Jobs' tirade at one of the meetings, he was like, "Nobody wants a 7-inch screen. People want a 10-inch screen." You missed that one, huh?
That's your homeboy. So
yeah, Steve. And maybe he has a point. Maybe people do want to watch stuff on a 10-inch screen, but also people want things portable. And as much, the iPad is a nice device, but it is rather heavy. It's what about 1.5 pounds or something?
It is very heavy. It's got that heavy kind of metallic feel to it.
Yeah.
I also think for Verizon, this is an opportunity for them to kind of extend some of their other services to this device. We've already discussed, Fios TV. They've
But
obviously
that
got some
might
work to do on that. But
the thing I find interesting about Fios TV though, it might step on the toes of Apple because Apple's trying to push their own Apple TV, and I wonder how that relationship will work out in terms of, hey, you know, we want to put this app, and it might maybe down the road they might say, well, you buy the iPad, Fios TV app is already pre-installed on the iPad.
well, that's eventually going to happen because if you've ever bought a phone from Verizon, one thing you notice, it just comes covered in their
And the
apps.
Verizon stuff,
You know, so
the VCast crap.
yeah, all that VCast stuff is eventually going to.
So I can see down the road that, you know, you purchase this iPad and let's say you do have Apple TV service, and now are they going to say you can only use the Fios service and not Apple TV?
That is going to be interesting to see. I mean, will Apple TV take kind of a back seat and take more of a rental of shows kind of role in that relationship, or
That'll be interesting
or
because
you know, will that compete with Netflix?
knowing Apple, they're not going to take a backseat to anybody.
Yeah, they're not going to take a backseat to anybody. But I was just kind of throwing that out there. Also, I mean, obviously for Apple, this is a big thing. I mean, the more places you get your devices in, the more it gets seen. And then Verizon, I mean, we never see Verizon commercials on TV ever. No, only 5 times an hour. I mean, seriously. That's why they say rule the air.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is a big thing for Apple. Also, Apple is, what they're trying to do with their devices now is they're trying to get them seen as much as possible. The rumors are that not only will you be able to get these at Best Buy and Verizon and AT&T stores, but later on this year you're supposed to be able to go to Walmart and be able to purchase one of these. So,
Which makes sense. I mean, you want your devices in any avenue possible that consumers can grab them. Not everyone has an Apple store or Verizon store in the neighborhood. I know for me, I have to drive about 5 miles just to the nearest Verizon store, just so if I wanted to even check out an iPad, if I was a Verizon customer, which I'm not.
yeah, you're a Google Voice customer because you never pay your freaking phone bill. But yeah, all in all, Apple is the big winner here. And I think Verizon would be a close second. AT&T, as you kind of see them doing right now, they seem to be kind of scrambling to throw exclusivities on devices like they did with the Touch. I'm sorry, the Torch.
The Torch, yep.
And I think there's another phone they just said is going to be coming out exclusively for AT&T.
Not sure what it was. I know one thing though. It'll be interesting to see. Now we talked about Windows Phone 7. And maybe AT&T might be courting Microsoft.
Yeah, okay.
That's just the theory I'm throwing out there. Because if they're going to lose Apple, well, they're not really losing Apple. They're just losing the exclusivity.
Yeah.
They're still going to have Apple products. So I don't think so much that it's a lose-lose. I think what AT&T needs to do, and this is my own feelings, and if anyone who works for AT&T is listening, fix your network.
Yeah,
get that
infrastructure.
Thing working. Yeah, I mean,
because I think next year, mid next year, when Verizon launches their 4G network, I think then you're going to really start to see all those unhappy customers with AT&T and their network. I think that's when you're going to start seeing those people. Start to jump ship.
Yeah, I agree. Which is, I don't understand why Verizon hasn't put out the 4G network sooner, because Sprint, which basically kind of works on the same type of technologies, already has 4G. So, what's going on with you guys, Verizon?
I think that tinfoil hat's still on.
I know.
But that does about move us on to our next segment of the show. We call this Showing Some Love. We talk about something that we've seen this week that we're going to show some respect to. So Jamal, why don't you start us off?
My showing for love is with T-Mobile. I know we've talking about Apple and AT&T and Verizon, but
T-Mobile, what's that?
T-Mobile, yes, that phone company from Germany that happens to carry the MyTouch 3G. Now, why I'm showing some love is because T-Mobile is pushing Froyo 2.2 to my 3G MyTouch. Thank you, T-Mobile. I've been waiting so long.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
You got a little emotional there.
2.2, baby.
That's why we call it Showing Some Love, folks.
Yep.
You know me, like we always do about this time. I'm going to talk about a game.
Oh my goodness, I would have never guessed.
As always, I'm going to actually show some love to Sega.
Sega.
That's right, Sega. They released Sonic Episode 4. I mean, they should really call it.
I knew you were going to talk about that.
They should really call it Sonic 1.5 because that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I got it on Xbox Live, 1,200 Microsoft points, 4 stages, and they did something that hasn't been done in a long time. They made a cool Sonic game. There's no tails, none of that stuff. Just run as fast as you can, go through these 4 levels. New targeting system. There's a couple new twists on some old stages. Really fun romp through a Sonic game. So I am actually going to show Sega some respect. Just don't make any game systems anytime soon, Sega.
What are you talking about? The Dreamcast was awesome.
Yeah, and that's after 1 month of the Sega Saturn, and a month before that it was the Sega CD2, and then.
You can't fault the Dreamcast for being what it is. I mean, I think if the Dreamcast was maybe on
maybe if it had some good games, I think it would have been okay.
What are you talking about?
There was
Jet
a
Grind
handful.
Radio?
There was like a handful of good games.
Project Justice. Come on,
Project
dude.
Justice.
Crazy Taxi.
Okay, for all of the people out there who played Project Justice, do you even know what it was a sequel to?
Yes, Project Justice 1.
No, it was actually Rival Schools.
Rival Schools, yes.
I figured you would know that, Mr. Anime.
Well, yes, I only have.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. If it's not involving the Sailor Scouts, you don't want to know. But that does about wrap it up for us here at the End User Report. Again, this is Clarence.
This is Jamal.
Again, you can always follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That is the End User Report. And don't forget to comment and subscribe on YouTube.
Later.